Hey YouTube, it's your girl back at it again with another video. This is what to watch in May 2021. So we're going to be going over all of the streaming sites, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and HBO, and I'm just going to give you some tips on what to watch. May is going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be full of sci-fi thrillers. May is also the month where the weather really starts to warm up, so I hope that you take a moment to go outside, be in nature. So let's get into it. First, we're gonna go over the movies that are coming out May 2021. First one is Army of Dead, coming out May 21st on Netflix. So Zack Snyder is known for superhero movies like Watchmen and Wonder Woman. So I'm thinking this is gonna be a great film with some cinematic elements. But I do appreciate that they're switching up the zombie genre with a heist concept. Alright, another movie that I'm really excited about is Monsters, coming out on Netflix May 7th. This film premiered in Sundance. It's funded by the rapper Nas as well as John Legend. And it's got some amazing actors like John David Washington and the Oscar-winning Jennifer Hudson. This film comments about the criminal justice system. So I imagine the title Monsters has something to do with people like Hillary Clinton making black young people, black kids, boys and girls, seem as if they are super predators.
The kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
I think we're all getting on the same page about the US criminal justice system, so let's watch it. Let's see how it goes. Next up is a sci-fi thriller called Oxygen on Netflix, premiering May 12th. This film is about a woman who wakes up in a cryogenic chamber sometime in the future. She has no idea how she got there, but she's running out of oxygen. I'm just sort of bored with the sci-fi fillers that are solely based off of, oh my god, we're running out of oxygen, we're running out of oxygen. Like, the true sci-fi thriller is the fact that we live in a time where climate change is very real and we are actually like running out of clean air and clean water. That is a sci-fi thriller. So Shadow in the Cloud is coming out May 5th on Hulu, and I don't hate it, you know? I like this mix of war, action with a sci-fi thriller and a sprinkle of lean-in white feminism. Next up is Little Fish, coming out May 7th on Hulu. I'm actually really interested in watching this. This film is about a mysterious Alzheimer's-like illness. It's got love and romance, but it's also pretty much about a pandemic. I don't know, are we ready? Is it too soon to watch pandemic movies and films? I don't know. I would be weary about watching this film if you get triggered around conversations about pandemic and diseases. But the good thing is that it seems like this mysterious illness is not an infectious disease, so maybe we can handle it. The last in the movies category is Those Who Wish Me Dead, coming out May 14th on HBO Max. This is basically your quintessential Angelina Jolie movie equipped with guns and bombs and blowing shit up. And here are a few of the series that are coming out in May 2021. First up, Jupiter's Legacy, May 7th on Netflix. I would be really interested in this series. I really would be. But Netflix has a history of clickbaiting diversity, and I can't stand it. They'll literally put every single black person or person of color that is in the film, they'll put them in the trailer, they'll put them on the posters, but then when you watch the film, they're all minor characters. Like, there's no leading black or POC BIPOC characters, and it's like, why are you playing with my heart, Netflix? Like, it's literally disgusting to me that they would put the one black character on the film's poster so that you click on it, and then when you end up watching the film, the black character is like a supporting role. It's like, don't make it seem like this is a leading black character if it's not. And so that's how I feel about Jupiter's Legacy. I feel like when it comes out on May 7th, they're gonna have this like Afrocentric superhero woman on the movie cover, but then when you actually watch it, she has like, what, 7 lines? Selena Part 2 coming back to Netflix on May 4th. I'm not really interested in this series, but I understand why people are, and so I'm excited for y'all. I'm excited for you. If you like it, I love it. Next up is Love, Death, and Robots coming out May 12th on Netflix. This will be interesting. The one thing I really like about this series is the different forms of animation that exist in one cohesive series. Like, you could tell that a lot of different people put a lot of effort into it, and that's what filmmaking is all about, right? Right. And also Special, the series about a boy with cerebral palsy, is coming out with season 2 May 20th on Netflix. I like this approach to conversations around disability and health, and I think that it's an important show, and I'm happy to see it come back for season 2.
It's super inspiring to see you give it your all, despite your limitations.
Ew. Inspiration porn.
Is that what that is?
The Upshaws is a sitcom coming out on May 12th on Netflix. It's got Wanda Sykes and Mike Epps, and I'm not a sitcom person, so I'll pass, but I'm excited for you sitcom people. Another series coming out on Amazon May 14th is titled The Underground Railroad. No, ma'am. I don't want it. We don't need another slave movie, film, series, documentary. Like, while this film is created by the same person that made If Beale Street Could Talk and Moonlight, I just don't care. I'm like, and it kind of makes me ask myself, like, is this what the filmmaker wants to spend their time on, or is this the only project that they could get funding for? Lastly, I am so excited for Ragnarok season 2. It's coming out May 27th on Netflix. I really super enjoyed this film. If you like Dark, the German series, I think you should watch this and it's gonna be great. If you like mythology, if you like science fiction, if you're a climate change environmentalist, I think there are just so many ways that people can really enjoy this series. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do a review of Ragnarok. So just to kind of get you all interested and see, like, to explain more why you might want to watch it, and then you could decide from there if you want to watch it. Essentially, Ragnarok is a Norwegian series about the epic Norse mythology battle between gods and giants. I really liked this series because even though it's set in a small Norwegian town, I still feel like they sprinkled some diversity in there, which is more than I can say for other Netflix international films. Dark. I very much appreciate how this film has taken an old story from Norse mythology and revamped it for today. So there's a lot of comments around environmentalism, around the oil and gas industry, and there's also some comments around climate change and the effects of climate change in Norway and, you know, those like northern regions of the world where there's ice and the ice is melting. This is when they had me sold.
And by the way, thanks for the paper topic. Just be careful that your entire project doesn't end up about how it's only old white men who are destroying the world and causing all the ice to melt. Well, aren't they?
That shit was so funny to me because it's like white people talking shit about other white people. Lastly, the only documentary that I am excited about coming out in May 2021. This documentary, High on the Hog, coming out May 26th on Netflix. This documentary details how the African American cuisine has transformed and shaped American culture as a whole. And so I love this. I love that it's coming out in May. It makes me feel like Black History Month is every month. Like, you're not gonna get away from this Black history, because guess what? It's American history. This is the part of the video where I tell you what I watched in the previous month. So in April, I didn't watch that many shows or films, I actually, what was I doing? I just had a lot to do. To be honest, I watched a ridiculous amount of reality television, and I'm not proud. I'm really not proud. Some other things that I watched in April: The Vow on HBO Max. This shit was so creepy and disgusting and cringy, and like, I had nightmares. So we're talking about like a sex cult where these women like make a vow and brand themselves to this guy who looks like a hobbit. The Vow is really a cautionary tale for progressive white people. It's so interesting to me how this group of white people thought that they were being ultra progressive and feminist, but at the same time, all of their ideology was rooted in white supremacy. How could you not see that? Anyways, I wouldn't even recommend y'all watch The Vow because I just feel like I wasted my time. Next up in April, I watched season 1 of Black Lady Sketch Show, and I watched the first episode of season 2. Now, season 1 was hard to get through because it was funny, but it was also not that funny. But then the first episode of season 2, I literally died laughing. Like, my stomach hurt from laughing so much. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give season 2 a try. And so that is out now on HBO Max if you want to check it out. I also watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. The only thing I want to say about that is that Kenya Moore is absolutely despicable. Even if you have Native American ancestry, you dishonor your ancestors when you make a mockery out of their culture. You literally put on a fucking costume and you want to talk about your ancestors? Like, that's disgusting to me. Like, okay, lastly, I started watching Deadly Illusions, which is a movie on Netflix. Charlotte from Sex and the City is in it, and I enjoyed it. I was very surprised, but I really started to enjoy it. Okay, so this concludes my what to watch video for May 2021. Thank you so much for watching this video, making it to the end. Make sure you like, hit that subscribe bell, and comment below if you have any thoughts on the films that I talked about. I knew it wasn't gonna work.